Those people out there are nuts.
This time on the season finale of Heavy Rescue 401.
The terrain between Hope and Toronto, it's so different.
The team from Highway Through Hell.
It's just way different obstacles to overcome.
And the 401 crew.
You just feel the wind going by your head.
Size up heavy recovery.
Wow. These are trucks that guys used to run back in the 70s.
In the mountains of BC.
That's pretty amazing stuff.
And the mayhem of Ontario. On North America's busiest highway. Hundreds of thousands of drivers depend on the men and women who risk it all to keep the roads safe. Because closure is not an option.
Highways here. There's no room for error.
Toronto units at 401 westbound in the express.
That's up like crazy. They're gonna be there for a while.
This truck is split right in half.
18 lanes has got to be insane to actually operate in. You got, high volume, high speeds, just nonstop.
Can you just watch my back?
The terrain between Hope and Toronto, it's so different. I just sit back and I'm like, wow, that's crazy.
It's kind of like a snake moving around.
Just like some viper that's gonna take you.
It will bite you and then you're gonna stuck in the traffic whole day. Right there, right on the top of the ramp.
Their traffic volume is absolutely insane. It's mind-blowing to watch.
Who wants say two?
Text to go ahead.
Oh, this don't look good.
You got the ripple effect.
Single vehicle into the guardrail with extensive damage.
Boom, 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 boom.
Holy.
First accident, second accident. You can have 5, 6 accidents in a row, all within a kilometer stretch.
Traffic was coming to a stop. I came to a stop. And then I heard the crunching and slamming, and I'm surprised that driver lived.
All right, can I get my truck right here? Yeah. Okay. Getting to a scene or clearing it up, there's a huge amount of pressure because I just always want to do a good job. We got a huge amount of volume waiting behind us. We got to get this open. Just tell everybody to stand back.
But when you have that much chaos, that many cars crashing at one time, all those people.
Oh, the cops are rushing us now. We got to start working on this one right away. Hey, here we go. We're going up.
Those guys are really under the gun. I don't know how they do it. I really don't.
Okay, suck it in. The highway's got to get open. Can't do the job. They'll get somebody there that can.
Freaking nightmare gong show.
Those people out there are nuts, the way they drive.
It's almost like the game of Frogger where you see cars going in and out, just trying to get ahead.
You make a one mistake, the whole highway's shut down.
You got these multi-car pileups.
It's just a ginormous mass. You'll see it.
It's just a war zone. Destruction everywhere.
Big accident of the year, I guess.
Oh my God, this is huge.
About 40 cars and tractor trailers.
I drive tow truck before, but I never seen an accident like that.
For them, an hour closure could mean miles of backup of traffic.
What a mess that is.
There was an accident out here a few years ago, and there was 96 vehicles involved. It takes a good number of hours to clean up that number of vehicles off the road.
It's just horrendous to even think of that. That sort of stuff doesn't happen out here. There they deal more with momentum. Here we deal more with gravity. trying to go up or you're trying to go down.
That looks like it was a hell of a ride.
When you're in the mountain, you know, you're dealing with cliffs, rocks,
It's all coming down.
steep curves.
It's either icy or dirty rotten.
With the terrain between us and BC, the biggest difference is that they have monster cliffs. We have ditches.
They're used to these big, broad interstates, and we don't have that here. We've got narrow little hick town roads.
The canyon's closed.
Trucks jackknifed on a bridge. It's going to be a while to get them out of here.
For example, the Spuzzum Bridge accident. How do you operate in that tight little narrow area? You're squeezed.
I hate this bridge. It's spooky.
Even after being in the business so long, when you get to these wrecks, you're still amazed at how something like that could happen. I get scared of heights here. You look right down there. Don't.
Looking over the railing with no guardrails, like 300 feet, I tensed up just feeling it. Like, it looked pretty sketchy.
Slide back, eh?
We're working in some really tight quarters here. We're right on the edge of the railing, basically trying to unravel this thing.
There we go, buddy.
We don't have anything like that around here. Even some of our railroad bridges aren't that high.
Ah!
I'd like to get out there and try working in that area just because of the terrain.
You know, out in BC, they've got sheer drops. They got avalanches, rocks falling off the mountains. Here in Toronto, we have a lot of man-made hazards.
And when we're out hooking up in a live lane, it's very dangerous. We all don't want to do it, especially when cars and trucks are just zinging by, they're not moving over.
All of a sudden, a tractor trailer goes by. If you don't have your footing, the pressure of the wind hitting you will knock you off your feet.
I would probably feel like a dog stuck out in the middle of the highway. They're running around in circles, likely to get hit.
I've had a couple of close calls where, you know, a piece of the mirror hit me.
Lady? Cars, look at these cars.
You could just feel the wind going by your head, right?
You know, I gotta take my hat off to those guys because I just feel the danger. You know, I get pins and needles in the back of my spine. You know, watching him try to get out of his truck. Amazing.
When I watch John trying to get out of his truck there, that's crazy. We all do it. Just when you see somebody else doing it, how close, you know, you are in the danger zone, like you're right there. Just any second, slight move, you're dead if somebody hits you.
Seeing John, you know, trying to shimmy down the side of his truck. Well, I could see that. He just wishes he didn't have one more coat of paint on to get him that much further off the road. It's Russian roulette.
It's pretty scary out there on the side of the road. But at the end of the day, I got a job to do. I'm gonna do it.
Out here in BC, a lot of our jobs
Wow, scary ride, man.
are up in the back roads of the bush or the middle of nowhere, which presents a whole other danger all on its own.
Up in the mountain dealing with this type of terrain, it's not just a regular ditch like in the city. There's a lot of obstacles to overcome.
Holy. It sounds like the water's rushing pretty good.
That's huge, dealing with stuff way down there and trying to pull it up.
Somebody's gonna be a little chilly.
Off-road towing it for us, it's a ton of different challenges put into one.
Hold it there. There's a trees and, you know, there's a big rock. you're gonna have to bring it all the way up. It's a tough job.
Yeah, buddy. Okay, out of here. Time to dry off.
Holy, somebody's having a bad day.
The biggest thing between BC and back east, it's just way different obstacles to overcome.
I don't know how the hell he got there.
Yeah, it's definitely not a call that you hear every day, a vehicle running into a building.
Holy cow, man.
Good Lord.
It's very scary. If the truck comes out anymore, the rest of this brick will come down. So that's our main concern right now, is not to take down the rest of the building. There we go.
They're in a very city-type setting.
How far till we come off? Probably an inch.
And I feel that their conditions, their workplace is a lot more dangerous than ours.
Any second.
It could have been a house of cards, and it would have come down 2 stories all out onto the road. It kind of makes your heart skip a beat.
That's it. Good.
That just shows you never know what you're gonna get.
Pretty scary out there.
Out in Ontario, you get sudden temperature changes. Oh boy.
Look at that. Here we go.
And it's just started snowing.
You got a wet road, you've got high traffic volume, and the temperature drops a couple of degrees, you got a recipe for disaster.
Everything's icing up. Oh, there's another one, guys. See how fast? See how fast? All around us.
We all have one enemy. It's Mother Nature.
Holy. Got a guy who spun out on the smasher in the fast lane.
In the heavy wrecker business, there's huge, huge differences between Hope, BC, and Toronto. But we all have one enemy. It's Mother Nature.
An accident waiting to happen, eh?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Dude.
When weather hits like this here in Ontario, it does not take long. It's called lake effect snow. The winds pick up, they come in.
We have severe snow squalls.
Literally, you just cannot see your hand in front of your face.
All you can hear is vehicles getting smashed up, and you don't know where it is. It's really dangerous.
Holy, 3 more vehicles in the ditch. 4, 5.
I've been in it back east. It's not fun. There's no mountains to stop it. It comes howling off of that lake and it hits you like a sledgehammer.
Became completely whiteout conditions. There was a sheet of ice. We couldn't control the car whatsoever.
So a few years ago, we had what we deemed Snowmageddon come through this area. We had hundreds of cars and trucks that were stranded out on the 402. It was literally just something you'd see out of a movie.
It's starting to pick up. Stand up there with him. Yeah. And I'll tell you if he needs to stop. Okay.
It gets so bad out there that sometimes your actual eyelashes freeze shut. You can't breathe. You can't even speak because it's so cold.
It just feels like pins and needles coming at your face, and it hurts.
I see minus 20, minus 30, minus 40. My hat goes off to those guys because that takes a lot out of you.
Extreme snowfall warning tonight.
Out here, you'll get a big system coming off the ocean. And the valley is shaped like a funnel.
Snowing like from the one side of the head all the way to Juliet.
The Coquihalla is at the narrow end of that funnel.
It's raining down here at the bottom, and then in 20 minutes you can be up the hill into heavy whiteout conditions, and you're fighting the battle.
We've seen 9 cars in the ditch so far, a couple flip trucks, 2 smashed up semis, just a little ridiculous.
Come on, buddy.
We're operating in some of the worst driving conditions in the world.
Look at him go. I bet you brick.
The snow in BC is very wet, very dense. the resistance from the snowpack would be a lot higher than the resistance in Ontario. Same rigs, same everything. But the snow is going to make a difference in your job.
Just snapped it right off.
It's just sucked in there so good.
It's like the snow is a big hand and it has a hold of that truck.
Well, there in BC, the heavy snow, the wet snow, the slush.
Thanks, man.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's coming down hard in the snow right now. Here it comes.
We do have the equivalent. We have snow that comes in from the Gulf of Mexico.
Traffic is extremely heavy and the weather and visibility are bad.
We can get 30, 35 centimeters at a time.
When does this portion hit us?
Or we could end up with a half an inch or 3/4 of an inch of freezing rain. And that stuff's really crazy to work in.
She turned ice in a matter of minutes on us, so she's pretty slick.
You can't walk, you can't drive. The rigging will slip around on it, and that can be very dangerous.
Nice and slow, slow and steady.
If we go through a period of freezing rain, and then it starts to snow.
Holy smokes. Yeah, she's snowing pretty good.
First, you put a layer of ice down, and now you're going to cover it up so no one can see it.
Sonny, make your way down there, Sonny. Sonny, you go in there, Sonny.
We had a situation.
Be careful when you come down the hill here, Sonny. It's very slippery, buddy.
There is ice on the hill. The trucks slide all the way down. It's ice. I put all the brakes. It's not stopping. It keeps sliding.
Sonny! Sonny!
I've driven in those conditions before, and it is scary. Because you can't feel the road, you can't hear your tires.
Seeing Sonny operate like that, I can relate.
I was almost in the ditch. Wow.
You're trying to get the job done, and now all of a sudden you're stuck in an icy truck trap.
Tell them to drive slowly, okay? I know how Al and Gold handle the stuff, so that's how I do it. Drive! And I'm gonna hook it up. I'm gonna keep going. That's what I'm gonna do, like as they doing. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah, we got the road open.
If what we do helps him out, hey, a good idea is a good idea. Feel free to use it.
Just started on the top of the coke here.
That's probably the most problem for us on the Coquihalla is these guys from Ontario and back east that don't use tire chains, use the flat ground.
Oh, look at that. Snow socks. We don't use those in BC, buddy.
And now all of a sudden they're thrown into an 8.5% grade with wet, icy snow.
Hang on, we're going up the hill. Some kind of a condom or something. I don't know what that was.
What are you doing? Don't! Stop! Stop! What are you doing?
When I see Gordon and Al dealing with truckers,
You're blocking the highway.
that's got to get frustrating for them.
I don't care about the money. Shut up. Get in the truck. I gotta get you off the hill.
I can see why they get worked up too sometimes there, especially Gord there.
I'm gonna teach him a lesson.
He's going to go up the hill whether he likes it or not.
You know, when you're winter on that mountain, you can count on pulling semis up that hill and pulling them out of the ditch.
Come on, sweetheart. We were able to get it bust loose with the power of the Vulcan V100 wrecker.
The Vulcan wrecker is military-based. They're originally built as tank retrievers, made to go into battle. It's a very good wrecker.
Here goes a little yeehaw moment.
The rotator for me, it's just a big cumbersome piece of iron. I don't really care about the chrome, the lights, and the dazzle. I just want to be able to boom up and pull.
Unlike Jamie and Al out there, we have a lot of rotators here in Ontario. It makes it a lot quicker for clearing highways.
How long before you have it out of the ditch, do you think?
I'm hoping about 90 minutes. With the ability to work off the side of the truck, we can wheel up in the rotator, use a lane and a half, and still get the job done. We got to keep the traffic moving, so around here, the rotators are a real asset.
We're a team, me and the truck.
I've had conversations with Jamie. When I told him what I do with my rotator on a daily basis, I heard his jaw hit his desk.
You become pretty close to the machine. You are it, and it's you. This is the last trip for me in the rotator. I really love my rotator, but at the end of the day, we had too many trucks. It's hard for you to get rid of one of your favorite trucks. I was in tears when I sold it.
It's not about the truck, it's about the operator.
Bit of a pull here.
Jamie's proven it. He's back into an old Homes. These are trucks that guys used to run back in the 70s.
Wow.
This is what Jamie's doing out there, so you know what? Thumbs up.
Some recoveries are so big that, you just can't handle these by yourself.
There are 3 of them right in a row.
All of us working in unison to open up the highway as quick as we can.
Ordered the hurricane.
I just got put in midair. It's just hung on for dear life.
Damn, that's a big truck.
The turtle on its back.
Yeah, that must have been a holy moment while he was going over anyways. Al and I, we work really, really well together.
We're gonna be doing some pulling. Hopefully we're not outgunned.
We know what each other is gonna do. We know what each other needs to do.
Can you grab me a big 3/4 chain with 1 hook?
You mean this one?
Yeah.
And we simply get it done.
Al and Gord are a team. When you work together that much, you know what's going on.
I depend on him.
Got it.
You need to know that that guy can handle everything that you can handle and more.
We just might get lucky.
He's been on enough jobs with me and my dad.
There she's rolling.
To know how we're gonna rig.
Beautiful.
It's like basically having a brother running the other wrecker.
It's amazing what you guys can do.
Not every guy gets to work with a guy like Gord.
Careful.
Fortunately, I've got Bubba.
Ready to rock and roll.
Bubba's like my go-to guy. I call him, he goes.
And we'll get out of here in a timely fashion.
We've worked over 100 wrecks together.
You ready?
You kind of get comfortable working with each other, and you just develop little things. When he's just chirping like a bird, I know he's just doing a little bit at a time.
Nice and slow.
And, when I tell him to go, then he can go. Almost similar to baseball, where they get flailing their hands around a little bit.
Good.
And we do that, and we know what each other needs, so we just get her done.
Crossing the ditch, so it's gonna be a while. There are 3 of them right in a row.
Some recoveries are so big that, you just can't handle these by yourself. 3 different companies working with 8 trucks.
She froze overnight.
On 3 different wrecks, all 3 coming out at the same time.
Hey, Ricky.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Good to see you, man. I knew we'd get out on a wreck together.
Yes, finally.
One of the guys on the wreck here was Rick Renders, but we lovingly know him as Bear. Rick was kind of my mentor as I was getting into this industry.
I'm very proud to see what Gary's become.
These are guys that do the exact same thing that I do, so there is a bond that's formed between us.
Let's pull it, Rick.
And that day, the brotherhood played out like we could never have predicted.
"2 feet from hitting me. If that had connected with me,
I might not be here right now.
I'll stand here with me, behind me.
Gary's son is getting into this industry. He's gonna want to see this because it could happen to him. It can happen to any of us.
Okay, hold her there, guys.
We all care for each other, and that's part of the brotherhood.
See what we're up against. Hopefully I don't lose my hard hat today.
We're all in this game together.
Who ordered the hurricane?
And sometimes you have to work with other companies.
Where's that kite?
I just got put in midair. I was about 8 feet in the air. I just hung on for dear life.
We needed 2 big wreckers on it right now.
We're gonna do an Alder Grove jelly roll.
My initial reaction is it's out of my element, but it's an opportunity for me to learn the Alder Grove jelly roll.
Okay, no worries, he'll walk you through it.
An Alder Grove jelly roll is an end roll done our way, with a little bit of finesse and a little bit of skill.
Okay, be careful.
And no matter how long you do this job or how much experience you get,
Just keep that tire skipping right on the ground.
to continue being successful, you need to learn from each other.
Let it down on your red, let it down on your red.
It was a great opportunity, and I really enjoyed it.
Oh, you taught me something today, Al. That was a first for the Alder Grove jelly roll. Nice job.
An adrenaline rush in the wind like that.
It came up, wheels just slid, set over beautifully.
Just like you knew what the hell you were doing.
You'd almost think I'd done a jelly roll before.
We got to try to have a fun relationship with some guys.
What's going on, John?
This truck's more your speed, eh?
Yeah.
Me and Kevin, we're great friends. And, our whole life is a competition with each other. We're always trying to one-up each other. Our flatbed got bogged out, stuck. And he's got the loader, so I sucked my pride up and called and asked for some help.
You ready? Yeah, nice and easy.
He's pulling. Wheels are turning. Mud's flying.
There we go, there we go.
John did the right thing by calling me. Because he knows I always, got his back and always tried to make him look good. So that's what I did.
Well, we got him.
Yeah, well, as soon as I told him what to do, it came right out, and we're out of there.
There's gonna be times where I'm in a jam or I need help. They're gonna come and help me. They better. No.
You don't get them upside down very often.
Every day is different.
Oh, what happened there?
You don't know what you're gonna come across.
It's amazing what moves up and down these highways.
What we have is a great big Greek salad.
Some of these loads are unforgettable.
See the wreckage, it's unbelievable.
Hot sauce on everything.
Some of them are dangerous.
Whoa!
And some of these jobs put our skills to the test.
That is a hell of a long ways down. Oh, boy.
It's a 40-foot sea can with a load of cases of whiskey inside. We'd like to try to drink our way to the bottom, but we don't think they will allow it.
Booze, yeah, out of Toronto.
Oh, we got leakage. Smell the whiskey.
We've had a few of them that rolled over. Beer, vodka, rum. Dealing with them, it's pretty fun, right? Seeing all that alcohol. If people like alcohol.
There you go.
Guys in the East handle lots of booze wrecks, but we get the best.
Like the fist of God came down on it.
That was just like an explosion of wine on the highway.
Yeah, that's quite the mouth. Next question, was it good wine?
I love wine.
That's what we're liking. Nice dry road.
All kidding aside, we have a lot of heavy truck traffic.
Everything you have, except for your children, has rolled down this 401.
Everything that's made, everything that's manufactured, like auto parts.
Big slabs of steel coils.
It's quite a mess, actually.
You never know where you're gonna get, right?
Alrighty. I've done coils, but that's all solid, right?
These big steel rolls. I've never seen that before.
Where are you taking the load? Oh.
I was just thinking to myself, holy, how am I gonna pick this up?
Yeah, it could be tricky and dangerous, right? Because it's 20,000 pounds of steel.
Steel's not fun to handle, and it's difficult to tie down.
Oh, God. If it's rolling at you, there's no way you're gonna stop it.
We gotta get some wood here, okay, guys?
So I come up with a pretty effective plan with our wood bumpers to get our straps underneath it.
Just watch it doesn't turn, all right? Go this way, let's go this way. We saved the day, man.
We see steel out here, but not as much as we see wood.
Every tow man wants to catch a big fish. And this is a whopper. A logging truck 700 feet straight down this god-awful cliff.
Long ways down. Oh, boy.
That's pretty amazing stuff.
It's coming down.
Al is a special kind of crazy.
Crawling 700 feet down in a ditch to pull a vehicle out, and we're crawling, you know, sometimes 60.
Okay, pull her up there, Gord. Tighten her up again.
All righty.
In BC, there's no room for error. They have a failure, their truck's gone off the side of a mountain.
You're literally working blind. I cannot see what I'm pulling on.
It's just amazing to watch what they bring up and how they do it.
Been doing this for a long time. And you get that sixth sense. That truck will talk to you. It'll tell you what it's doing. You can hear it, you can feel it, you can hear the cable singing. You know when you're pulling hard. See the light at the end of the tunnel.
And you need to know when you're starting to reach the limits. I'm hearing sounds that I don't like. I'm concerned. The pitch changes and you're listening for that. I knew that the truck just wasn't moving. I said, whoa, let's stop. Unfortunately, the message didn't get through quick enough, I guess.
If you don't pay attention, you're not listening to everything, you can have big failures.
That can happen to any of us.
Half of this is probably rubbernecking, you know.
It's dangerous, but it's not so much us, it's the other drivers that are in a hurry.
We have drivers breaking the law, trying to get around traffic.
They don't get it. They don't get it.
People do stupid things. And then, like, I slam on the brake.
Traffic is extremely heavy.
We have a lot of eyes on us all the time. You know, the highways usually have cameras on them.
We have a collision.
Vehicle into a light standard, unknown injury.
2 tows unseen.
These guys have all these TV cameras around that somebody is actually watching and can get help rolling.
10-4, I'll notify OPP.
When the roads close down here, they'll have the OPP there, they'll have many sergeants. There's a lot of people that show up to get it open. It's pulling very hard on the fifth wheel here. The trailer's actually sitting on the tires. It's too dangerous to close down multiple lanes to transfer the load over. And you know what? That's when I said, let's go.
Rolling closure, let's do it. Take it right to Kennedy Road if it's going good, buddy. Just keep going. Hey, no, it's not a big if, it's gonna happen.
I can't see out of these mirrors. Thinking to myself, this is crazy. This isn't gonna work.
It's like a bunch of eggs in a wet grocery bag. It's just the weight hanging on it. It just could come apart at any time.
Yeah, Charles, that's good speed there, buddy. How's it feel?
I can smell the rubber burning a bit.
I can smell a little bit too.
Seeing James out in the middle of the Highway 401 there, that's risky. That's like juggling hand grenades with no pins in.
I just want to get this thing to the shoulder before she comes apart.
It could be the next bump, it could be the next wiggle that detonates that whole explosion of parcels, packages, things that you don't really want to be hand bombing in the middle of traffic.
You're good. Keep going. Don't just slow. Come way back over here. Easy, Charles.
That's it, buddy. Park it.
It's off our highway, and we did it in a very timely fashion, so it was a perfect scenario.
My hat's off to him for pulling that thing down the highway, because I wouldn't have wanted to try that. That looked nasty.
That was interesting, eh?
She's a white knuckle, buddy.
Holy crap, that was cool.
When you're in a city center and you dial 911, you're able to dispatch EMS or fire or police, whatever, and almost instantaneously. Up there, that is not the case at all. You're a long ways from home.
Take your windows up, go by that truck.
The reality is we don't have fire services. The thing's on fire, it's blocking the highway, and it's got to be moved. That's the end of that.
It just makes you think, wow.
Hard on the lungs, man.
He's doing it all. He's trying to put out the fire, trying to do everything himself.
We're not gonna sit here 20 hours and watch this thing burn. I'm gonna start limping down the road.
Fire on the deck.
Holy cow, Davy Davis is on fire.
Need a little snow. We grabbed some shovels and some snow, and we kept beating the fire back. That's the way it gets done here.
I guess it's a little more Wild West for Jamie and Al out in that area. You know, here they'll send 2 fire departments, 3 fire departments to put a truck out.
We all have a job to do, and sometimes it feels like we're cleaning up somebody's stupidity.
I see a car cut me off, and then another guy just cut me right into it. And then, like, I slam on the brake. I did. If I hit the guy, he might have died.
People don't understand how dangerous it is on the highway.
Half of this is probably rubbernecking, you know.
Everybody's gotta stop, take pictures.
It's everybody's slowing down to look, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that, you know, it really gets under your skin.
We just need people to just drive ahead and forget about the accident, look where they need to go.
We have drivers breaking the law, trying to get around traffic, taking shortcuts through a construction zone.
We're getting multiple 911 calls now reference this muddy road.
We have vehicles trying to merge with traffic that's going at full speed, and they're coming off of a muddy ditch. It puts everybody at risk.
On camera is a tractor trailer collide with a car.
Watching that clip blows my mind. Just not smart decisions.
And we have another collision that is completely unnecessary and completely preventable.
People's days are so busy. They're so enthralled with themselves and their own schedule, they don't take time to see obstructions on the side of the road.
When you're driving by an accident scene,
Slow down!
you need to slow down and move over. Think about it as if it was your loved one at the side of the highway.
Brandon! Go! Go! Go!
Would you drive a little differently?
We're headed this morning down to line up a procession of tow trucks. This was somebody that I knew personally. He's the son of the guy that started the business, so I'm in the same situation.
When you have a child in the business and you lose them, you know, I couldn't even imagine what my dad would go through, let alone what this family's going through right now.
There's one tow truck driver killed every 6 days in North America. Family left behind, children left behind.
The message is we gotta slow down, gotta move over.
Why should we lose our life? Because they're in a big hurry, right?
Until people smarten up and realize that slow down, move over means something, these incidents are going to continue to happen.
People don't realize how dangerous it is on the highway until they're sitting on the side of the highway and they're scared. You're literally scared shitless. They get in my truck, they're safe now.
How'd you like sitting on the side of the 400 being broke down there?
I broke on the middle of the highway, trust me.
It takes a certain type of person to do this job. And it takes a certain type of person to keep doing this job.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Save my day.
No problem. Anytime.
And then skating for how long?
10 million hours.
That's a long time. Mother Nature has a big part to play in how much time we get to spend at home. It takes its toll on you. Well, you might be out for 2 or 3 days straight and only home for a few hours and then back out again.
How are you? My wife, every single day, she make lunch and bring it to me. Because if I go, I don't know what time I'm gonna come back.
All right. Bye.
Careful.
I love you.
Oh, help me here!
Working long hours, we all sacrifice a lot.
Oh, my God.
Sometimes I ask myself, why am I doing it?
There you
But
go.
the next day, I go and do it because I love my job. I love what I do. And I like to help people.
Wow. Trailer's down. All right, buddy. Break it down, Glenn. Good job.
I think only the toughest people can survive in this business. And most towing companies are run by small family businesses. The kids who grow up in this business understanding it.
Okay, and then we want to give ourselves enough change.
Yeah.
You know, every kid loves a truck.
So it balances itself out.
Yeah.
Even as a baby, he was driving around with me in the car seat once in a while and loved it. So, you know, they just get wrapped in it and it sucks you in and you're there.
I think it's a way of life. And I think that, you know, they're used to working together as a family. It's kind of a little bit like a farm, believe it or not. Except we have trucks.
3 generations, and now we're getting into 4 generations. Look! I'm just every day trying to live up to the legacy of my dad and my grandpa.
3 months before my grandpa died, gave me some Super 8 movies of fishing a logging truck over across the river. And it would be so cool to see that footage, watching Grandpa pull that. And then feed into this.
You know, I wish he was still alive to see this job.
Towing's one of them things that either it's in you or it's not. I feel it's my duty.
It's moving. Keep it going.
What is it gonna take for me to get the highway open?
Thank you very much for your professionalism. Anytime, that's what we're here for.
The action's gone, so it'll move now.
My challenges are a lot different than their challenges, but yet we're all fighting for the same thing here. Get the job done as best as we can and make it home back to our families at the end of the day safely.
Nice job, dude.
People in this industry are there for you
Go ahead, Mark. Get it up.
every day of the week, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. more truck off the road.
When we see that traffic rolling, yeah, it's just I say, hey, I was in that. I did that. I got the highway open.
Are they opening a westbound lane? Yes, they are.
Yeah, buddy.
Makes you feel good.